Hi everybody again, it's Sally here from Junk Journal Creative Swaps in Oz. I'm coming back on to show you the next bugs, butterflies and birds ephemera I'm creating for our October swap. As you know, we have just started our new theme, which as I said was bugs, birds and butterflies. Last month we did other ephemera. This month is this one. It's a little similar to what we did last month. It's a pocket and it is also made from an envelope, but this time it's made from a long envelope. Okay, and as you can see, I've decorated it in the theme. I have a little dangle here with a bee charm and some ribbons and lace, and the pocket is here. And inside is a journaling card that I've stenciled and added different papers to. And on the back there's room to journal. And of course, because it's the envelope, you can see the, I think it's a toucan, through the little window, which I thought was quite cute. I've decorated it with washi tape and I've collaged it all, as you can see, and stamps and that sort of thing on the front. And on the back, when you make it, you fold the envelope up to create two pockets, and in these pockets I've added a tag, just a normal tag as the first pocket there. This one, someone sent me this it was a little note, and I've just stuck it together because I thought it was really lovely with all the flowers and the birds on it, and just punched some holes and threaded some string through, which I thought was quite an easy thing to do and a bit different. And I've also added just a guest check there too. So those two go in the back pocket. So I'm going to show you how to make this pocket. Sorry, I'm having a bit of trouble with it. I don't know why. There we go. I'm going to show you how to make this pocket. It's a little different to this one. Not in the way it's made, just in the colorings. This one's obviously, I tried to create sort of a forest, rainforest, jungle sort of look on this one. And this new one that I'm going to show you, which I've started, is in pinks. So it's a more floral sort of one. So as you can see, what I did, all of my envelopes that I've used for this project have the window on the left side. You might have it on the other side, so you can decide what you want to do. You could even you could fold it this way, but then of course the pocket wouldn't work. So anyway, some envelopes have a window on the right side, some have on the left, so it's entirely up to you what you'd like to do. And then what I did was, I think if I can measure it, I folded it up at the bottom roughly 2.5 inches. So when you first get your envelope, which is, I haven't done this, I was just going to show you what I did, which is quite simple. You're going to stick down all the folds, okay? First, that's the first thing to do, so that it's all nice and flat. Now I'm using one that has been a used envelope. You can use, because sometimes you get these junk envelopes through the mail and they're, you know, brand new, not been used. But this is one that arrived in my mail, and I keep all of those as well. So when you've done that and you've measured and scored your roughly 2.5 inches up, okay, then you want to slice very thinly, a very thin bit down this end, so that you create that pocket at the front. And then of course what we're going to do is we're going to glue the two sides here to create the second pocket. Before we do that though, of course we need to make the slit for the journaling card to go in. Now you have to be really careful, because you need to make sure obviously that you cut this side and not this side for your pocket. So I'm going to do that now. And you just really need, because I've already put my paper on, mine's going to be a bit thicker, of course, but that's okay. I'm just going to do a very thin, you see, just a little slither to open up this side of the envelope. Let's see if that's worked yet. There we go. So you can see there's my pocket. Let's get rid of the scrap. So now that I've done that, that's a little bit more. Now that I've done that, I can go ahead and I can glue this up. But what I think I might do first, before I glue up, is I might do some, I intended to collage the whole thing. So I'm going to do some more collaging on the back. On this one I did, I had this card. I've had it for years and years. And even though it's got different animals on it, it's got birds and plants and everything. I thought it went quite well with the toucans. So I used this card that as I say, I can't even remember when I got it. I remember I got it when I was in England. I got a pack of them. Somebody sent them to me and I brought them from England here. And I've been in Australia about 24 years now. So that gives you a bit of an idea how I keep things and how they travel around the world with me. So there we go. You know that you're going to use them one day, and this was the day for that one. I've got about 4 or 5 more of those, I think, and envelopes that go with them. So they're quite useful. So there we go. That's what I did on the back. But for this one, I'm just going to carry on with my collaging. And I'm going to use, on this paper, on this side, I used these different papers. I do have more. I think I do. I do have, let me see. Oh no, they're actually slightly different to the front, but that's okay. So what I discovered that to do with this, and by the way, this is not my idea. This is another YouTuber's idea, which I will tag at the bottom of the video so that you can watch hers as well. Of course, I don't think she does it in our theme. I can't remember now, but she may well do botanicals or something. What I learned from that video was it's best to try and get a piece, if you can, which of course I'm not going to, although that bit might work, that fits straight across the bottom on the pocket. So I'm going to just keep hold of this piece to use on the bottom, and then I'm just going to do my collaging on the back here. And what I do is I just put them on and see how I like them. These two would probably work quite well together, but I don't really want it to look so straight. So I might bring in some of this as well at the top. So, and of course I've got edges that are cut, not cut, torn. So I'm going to use this piece. I'm going to use the whole piece because that helps to use up the pieces. I'm going to use a little bit of tape like I usually do on these projects, just a little bit, just to make sure it stays put. I'm a bit of a overuser with glue and tape. And I'm going to do it now. I usually use a bit of tape, a bit of glue stick, and then the wet glue as well, which is probably overkill, but that's just the way I do these when I'm doing particularly collaging. This one, I don't think I need to really rip this one, because the one that's going on the top I'll need to rip. So I'm just going to quickly stick this on here so it goes right to the top, like so. And of course I'll be inking all the edges afterwards. So there's that piece. And then this piece, which is, oh, it's a bit skinny. I won't use that piece because I want to rip it. I'm going to really be fairly careful with this one because I know it's not really going to fit. But if it doesn't, I can just find something else that will work to go down the other side. So basically it's just paper piecing. You just make what you have work. And I'm not doing a very good job of this, am I? So it might not work. And then I might need an extra piece anyway. So I'm just going to rip that much because by the time I get down there, yeah, see, I've got a gap. So what I'll do is I'll just stick it like this. I'm going to ink the edge as well. And then I'll find another, I'll find another piece to go down the side there. I've got plenty of skinny pieces that would work quite well. You don't have to tear your paper if you don't want to. I just like that look of collaging, and you really don't need to With this one, I'm not going to add the tape because it's thinner. You really don't need to collage. You can do what you like. If you've got certain pictures or you know, other pieces of paper, speciality paper, that sort of thing that you think would work better, then you go ahead and you can do that yourself. That's all good. It's all individualized. So as you can see, I've now got a white strip here, which is fine. I can work with that. And then this is thicker, and I'm just going to use a little bit at the top. So I'm just going to cut it roughly because I'm going to tear it anyway. And I'm going to just add that to the top. And then I might actually see if I can find my skinny bit to go down there before I add this. Actually, no, I won't. I will just do this and make it shorter. So as you can see, as you go along, you just work it out and decide what you think is best. I'm going to add a little bit of tape to this one because it's thicker. So I'm hoping that all the viewers, or as many viewers as possible that are watching this video, and you probably realised that I try and post a video every time we do a swap. I'm hoping that you'll all come along and join in our group and make this journal with us. At the moment, we're all having quite a bit of fun with our 12 days of spring. We've each been given a partner, and then we make or send bought items to our partner, and they have little packages to open every day for 12 days of spring. And then some members have been great and done a little video to show each day what they've got. Other members have just posted it in the group, and it's really quite fun watching what people have made and watching them open it. And some people are so generous. It's amazing what they give to their partners. So it's well worth coming over and joining in the group, because we will be doing this again for Christmas, where we'll do 12 days of Christmas. This year we've gone a bit nuts with this because we did 12 days of Easter. Now we're doing 12 days of spring, and then we'll be doing Christmas. But it's a very popular event, and I know a lot of the members really look forward to taking part in this particular event. So that's what we're doing. So come on over and have a little look at what happens and join in the fun. So I'm just trying to find a little strip, which is actually not as easy as I thought it would be. I might need to cut one because I can't find one that is the correct colour, which is annoying because I've got billions of them and I just want to choose one and use it. But I don't want any blue or green or anything in it, so I'm going to need to look in my scraps just for, the other thing I could do if I had thought about it. Once I've stuck this on, I have a little strip here, so maybe I could do that. So I think that's what I'll do. So what I'll do is I'll stick this on now, and then I'll trim it, and I'll have a little bit to go down here. So let's just make sure it fits. Yes, it will fit. So there you go. There's my solution to that problem. I'm going to use some tape, of course, just in the middle and on the end, just so it stays put. So this is a very easy thing to do, to use up scraps, and I know we all have scraps. I'm always trying to find projects where we use up our scraps, and we actually, in the group, we have scrap challenge each month, where it's just a craft room challenge, where I put up a challenge. This month it's fabric scraps, making a fabric roll, and I got rid of quite a lot of my scraps, and particularly the scraps I used are suitable for our theme as well. And basically what I did was I just stuck them to a roll of paper, and then I sewed over them with my machine and added lace and ribbons and netting and all sorts of things, and then you can cut them up and use them as pockets or fabric tags or fabric journal cards. They're very, very versatile. So that's another good thing to do with your scraps too. But this one, I quite like this as well because it uses up quite a lot. So there we go. I'm just going to stick that on there. And now I'm going to just trim it this side. To be careful because actually, I think I should do it like this. Then I can see where I'm trimming and not cutting the actual envelope. So that one. And then I'm going to be careful cutting this part because this is the part that's going down the side. Okay, there's my little, so let's hope it fits. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to rip it, but that's okay. I don't mind that. So I'm going to stick that on just with liquid glue, like so. You obviously can take more time choosing papers and ripping and inking to your heart's content, like I did with my first one. This one I'm just going to get it finished. So now I'm going to glue, actually, I've got thin tape for this. I have tape of all widths and they're very useful just to help it stay put, really. I know some people don't like to use tape. I tend not to use tape if I'm using it on an actual page in a journal because, yeah, obviously that's over time it will show through things and that sort of thing. But with ephemera like this, it's going to get quite a lot of handling and use. I like to try and use it then. And of course, you know, once the ephemera is used, it will probably all be recycled at some point anyway. So it's not like it needs to last forever and ever. Sometimes if I'm making a special piece, of course I wouldn't use the tape then. So what the other thing I meant to do, I don't know if I did it on the other one actually. Yes, I did, is to cut a little tab, which I'll try and do now, which might be too late. Let's see, I might be able to just very sneakily lift a bit up. Oh, I think I might manage it to make sure I've got all of the pocket. And you want to cut less than half. It looks better with less. There we go. So I just made that. And now I can stick it back down again. I would ink the edges before I stuck it down, but because it's brown, it's not really going to show very much. But I'll do all the other edges now. So all up the top. This needs a little bit of a trim, I think. The top. Like that. I'm just inking them. Like so. Inking, I find, makes such a difference to your ephemera and pages. It makes it look sort of finished, I think. I don't know why. I think it just adds that extra touch. So there we go. I have now finished my pocket. So you can see I've got my opening here on the side. And I've got my pocket here at the front and my pocket at the back. So that's all ready to go. Now, before I came on, I managed to get some ephemera finished to go actually in the pockets. I will do that a bit later, but first I want to make the journal card. Now I've got an old envelope here, and I've thought I could just stick it all and use that because it fits really well. So of course I need to cover up this, and I need to, this is the embellishment I'm going to put on it. So I need to think about what I'm going to do on the back. Now this time I thought I might use some book pages. So I'm going to need to find my book pages because I wasn't quite ready with that. Let me grab this out. I recently we did not an envelope. Recently did the ocean journal where we had to repurpose the cover of a book. So I've actually got quite a lot of book pages here. So I'll just rip this one out for a minute. And I think I might not bother, this side is probably better. I might not really bother collaging this. I'll just use this book page. I can see a lot of this writing has got New Zealand and Christchurch is on here. So as you know, you should really check that there's nothing offensive to anyone when you do this. All right, so that's not going to fit completely, so I might just do a bit of collaging very quickly, because I think you really know what we're doing. I don't think it's really rocket science. I think we've all done this sort of thing before, and you'll get the idea. So I'm just going to really quickly do this. So I'm just going to stick that like that. And then I'm going to rip another bit and ink. As I said, this sort of project, you get to use up quite a lot of stuff. Like that. If I had been more prepared, I might have got some encyclopedia pictures to add to it, but because I'm putting the flower on, I think it needs to be quite simple, like so. And I might just go down here and go across like that, and I need another page. People often say, well, I've heard people say that, how can you use a book and destroy it that way? I'm like, well, these are old books. I don't think anybody's going to actually read them again. This one was actually quite bad from falling to bits. So I don't feel bad about it at all, because I know it would probably just end up in landfill or a recycling bin, and if I can repurpose it this way, then I think that's way better. So I don't feel bad about it, no. All right, so I'm trying to be super quick, because really, this is all things we've been doing before, and it's not difficult. So basically you're just adding paper, book page, and then all I'm going to do is just stick my flower sticker on. Just need a little bit more paper. I'm trying to get the text to go the same way as well, because I think it looks better if you do that. If you've got text going all here, there and everywhere, it doesn't look, it's not quite the same effect. So as you see, I'm only using glue stick this time. Really stick it down well. I think one more piece, a bit more ink. And then I could also, as an option, I could stamp on top of this before I added the sticker. It all depends really what you want to do. Okay, there we go. Now I'm just going to trim around. Now I'm going to leave mine, I think I might even leave it open for extra ephemera to go inside. You can do what you want. I mean, you don't have to use an envelope. You can use just a card. I'm going to ink it though, and then it can, store other things as well. I'll just get rid of all these scraps. And then all I'm going to do is just ink around the edges. Like this. You see, it's quite effective the way it overlaps with the texts. But of course, it's only supposed to be like used as a background. I'm just going to make sure this is stuck with some liquid glue because I've got bits coming up already. So it's a good idea just to check while you're at it. That one's okay. There we go. Okay, now what I'm going to do is stick my flower on. Now these are tricky, these ones, to get on. So what I've learnt, I hope you can see what I'm doing. I can't tell if I'm in shot or not. Once I can get it started. Oh, this one's tricky. Doesn't want to start. Sorry girls, I should have got this ready to go beforehand. There we go. You get some of it started. Don't take the whole thing off. Now I know if I put it here, I know I need it to be around here, the actual flower. So I'm going to come about here. I'm going to be on the edge and then just peel the back off like this. And it just sticks itself down. There we go. Now I'm just going to test that it's where I want it to be. It should be. There we go. It looks quite effective with the book page behind it, I think. Now the other thing I would do off camera as well. Oh, what's happened there? Seem to have a need to stick that down a bit more too. Is I would put some paper on the back here so that you don't see the blue. That's an extra thing I would do. And then so I'll just leave that in there for now so that we know it's in the right spot. And then what I had prepared to go in the back, I found just one of the journaling cards in the right colour, so that's going in the back pocket. I also made this little booklet that I've had the actual card part for a long time and just found it and stuck some cluster on the front, and I've just added a few pages featuring the same sorts of colours, bit of washi tape stuff. It's just stapled together, so that will go in there too. And then because that's quite bulky, I'm going to just add one tag in the front pocket. It's just a little tag that goes in the front pocket. So I like to sort of try and stagger them so you can see. Is that in the front pocket? No. There we go. Like so. There we go. So I've got my journaling card at the back, my little booklet and my tag, and then I've got this picture window with this. Now the other thing on the other one was that it has this little tab on the top, and of course the way that you do that, which I have to try and remember, is you just get a die cut circle, or you can punch a circle. I can't remember what size circle. I think it wasn't that one. I can't remember. And then cut it in half and stick it either side for your tab. You don't have to add dangle or lace or ribbons. You can just have a tab at the top. So what I will do now off camera is I will start embellishing a bit with washi tapes and other bits and pieces and down the bottom here to make it look embellished and look better. So that's what we're doing for this swap for October. We're going to make 2 of these for our birds, bees and butterflies journal. So I hope you have fun making that. And any new members who's watching, any new people that want to come over and join us, please do. Just come along to the link below, answer our questions, answer a message from me, and then I will approve you and you're in. But to let you know, as our name is Junk Journal Creative Swaps in Oz, you need to be living in Australia to join our group. And the only stipulation we ask for Australians is because of postal costs. We're a swap group, we're swapping all the time, we have to send things in the mail, and it becomes very costly if we start trying to send things internationally. So I'm really sorry about that. And we would love to have everybody, but it's really not going to be able, it won't work that way. But thanks anyway for coming and watching, and give me a thumbs up and a comment on how you think we're going in the group with our swaps, and love to see you come over and join. Okay, everybody, take care.